Hello, welcome to episode 34 of Full Movie Podcast, a show where we talk about those long forgotten classics that deserve a rewatch. I'm Matt.
And I'm Freya.
How's it going, Freya?
I'm good. I'm very good, thank you.
Good.
I'm a bit housebound at the moment because I'm just working from home.
Boo.
Yeah, so I need to get off my arse and leave the house a little bit more, but I'm fine apart from that.
Good.
How are you?
I'm not at all housebound.
No, you're not, are you?
Oh, work. All work and no play makes Matt something.
Go crazy?
Don't mind if I do. Sorry. It's just that is pretty much how it is at the moment, actually. So
Yeah, that's true.
but it's all good. By the way, happy International Podcast Day. Yay.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing, apparently.
Wow.
Spotify told me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if anyone knows, they do.
Yeah, exactly. They created... No, they didn't.
No.
That was Joe Rogan.
Lord of podcasts.
Yeah. I think the Lord of Podcasts is probably Kevin Smith, because he's got loads.
Yeah, it's got about 12 million.
Yeah. What have you been watching?
Not much. By not much, I mean a lot of Desperate Housewives. I'm sorry.
I don't even know why I asked.
I really need to get my act together.
I've been getting home from work. In fact, I've been leaving in the morning and had Desperate Housewives on. And I remember it was like...
Hey, wait a minute. I wait until you leave the house.
Well, I remember last night you were watching season 2, episode, I want to say 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And today you're on season 3, episode 18. And I was like, what the... How?
Because I'm working from home.
Yeah, but do you watch them on fast forward?
No.
No.
I just don't sleep anymore.
I will say, so I've never watched Desperate Housewives, and I enjoy asking Freya, who's that? Whenever someone's on screen. It could be anybody. It could be somebody in the background. It's like, why is that car there? So, and I like to get Freya to try and explain them to me. So
It's very complicated.
yes, she did explain to me beautifully and perfectly, but I still didn't have a clue.
No.
Didn't have foggiest. So
What have you been watching?
actually, not much.
No.
If I'm honest, I've been trying to watch the new Apple series, Long Way Up.
Oh, yes.
Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman.
Yeah.
Which is like they did Long Way Round and Long Way Down, and I just find them quite interesting. But if
Next one's Long Way Diagonally.
Long Way Across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one they're going to do it swimming or flying.
Swimming on motorbikes.
Yep.
You've never watched any of them, have you?
I said.
No, if I admit that I haven't really been paying much attention.
Well, we need to get our acts together, really, don't we?
We do. So, what are we going to do about that then?
Well, we have watched one film this week.
What was that?
Well, why don't you tell us?
Oh, yeah, the whole reason behind the podcast. Oh.
You got there eventually.
So, today we are going to be talking about 1990s The Witches.
Whilst on holiday with his grandmother, Luke stumbles upon a witch convention and he must stop them before they turn all the children in England into mice.
Ooh. Right, this is directed by Nicholas Roeg. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. I think he's Nordic.
Okay.
I think. He directed Performance, the 1970 Mick Jagger film.
Okay.
And James Fox. That's a trippy film.
Sure.
I see you're a fan. This actually, I will say, this guy has directed quite a few actual cult classic films.
Okay.
So there's been Performance, there's been Walkabout, there's been Don't Look Now.
Oh, yeah.
I do like that film.
Yes.
Yeah. So, except for the random sex scene right in the middle of it. It's a horror film with a really, really random, not gratuitous, well, yeah, very realistic sex scene.
I'd go into my opinion, but we're not talking about that film today,
David Bowie's The Man Who Fell to Earth. And a load of Roger Waters stuff.
Huh.
So, yeah, he's very prolific. But Yeah, anyway. Died in 2018, unfortunately.
Oh.
So, it was written by Alan Scott, who did The Preacher's Wife, Don't Look Now, and Daryl, or as I like to call it, Daryl. that's how it's done.
Well, yeah sure.
So,
yeah.
But of course, it was adapted from the novel by Roald Dahl, who I'm just going to name the films that have come out, because obviously it's a film podcast, not a book podcast. So there's the BFG, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, Matilda, James and the Giant Peach, Chutty Chutty Bang Bang screenplay.
Oh.
It was based on an Ian Fleming novel, but apparently Roald Dahl did the screenplay.
For Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yeah.
And I will also mention that he wrote all his novels in a garden shed.
Yes.
So, do we like this film?
I really like it, but what I'm more interested in is your opinion on this film, Matt, because you were not looking forward to this, were you?
No, I was not.
And why is that?
Okay. He puts his pen on the bed. He
threw
rolls
his
his
pen on the
eyes. And he goes, oh. Okay, so this film came out in 1990. I did go to see it at the cinema.
Wow, okay.
I was 10.
Yeah.
And it scared the shit out of me.
Oh.
I have already said about my love of horror films from a very early age, but I'll tell you what, that Grand High Witch played by Angelica Houston,
Yep.
I was about to swear.
You already did swear.
Proper swear.
Oh.
Drop
an F-bomb.
Proper East London swear. In all seriousness, she scares the crap out of me.
Still now?
Yeah, I don't like the look of her.
What is it? What? I mean, because it's not... I guess it, I suppose. But it's not scarier than a lot of other things, I suppose.
I think that I may have a fear of freaky women.
Well, you do have sort of recurring nightmares. And
Yes, I have a recurring nightmare that there's a freaky-looking woman in our bedroom.
Yeah. Which is a delight when you wake me up and then fall back asleep and leave me awake.
I will be like, there's a hand behind us!
Yeah.
So I go back to sleep.
It's a treat.
There's a person over there. And you'll be like, what? Where? And I'll just like... So
Matt has actually made me get out of bed to check under the mattress and then fallen back to sleep whilst I'm like, okay then. Anyway, yes, freaky old ladies.
So I think this all comes down a little bit down to the Evil Dead.
Right.
Because, as we mentioned in our Evil Dead episode, I watched that film when I was very, very, very young. And I will always remember the woman in the basement. And she was like kind of freaky looking. There's prosthetics on there. It's kind of freaky. And just Angelica, not Angelica.
Angelica.
It is Angelica. So I can't say Angelica without thinking of Rugrats. just putting that out there.
Fair enough.
Angelica Houston, in the prosthetics where her nose is really long and she has no hair, scared the hell out of me. Wow. I'm not scared of her when she's got like the normal hair and she's got the face. Really, no, not that scared. But in all seriousness, that just used to scare the crap out of me.
It is a scary premise, because obviously it's all about witches who kill children.
Yep.
And, that's scary enough when they look like, even when they look like normal humans, or with the kind of whole thing about their purple eyes and their square toes and their creepy hands and...
Which, so, obviously, I haven't seen this film for a while.
No.
The whole premise of this podcast. But I will say, having rewatched it yesterday, I wasn't as scared, but I was questioning loads of things, like, does anybody actually have purple eyes?
Well,
can you walk without any toes?
You did Google that.
Yeah, I did Google that, and apparently, yes, you can, but not very well.
Yeah. Well, I think people don't really have purple eyes. I think Liz Taylor had a kind of almost like lavender blue coloured eyes, but not purple. No,
but it's just these things I question. So.
Why not? But yeah, I don't remember finding this film particularly scary when I was younger. not really.
Okay.
But, you know, I quite like the baddies and the grotesque.
You do.
So, didn't so much when I was younger, but, you know, I don't know, it's just more exciting. The kind of baddies are more interesting.
Well, but I think we can say that me and Freya agree on most things.
Mm-hmm.
She likes...
I disagree. Sorry. I like
You actually proper tickled me then. Oh,
Good.
that's good. For your birthday last year, we went to see The Joker.
Oh, yes.
You really liked it. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think it was terrible. It's just, you know, I've already seen King comedy. I don't need to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I know that if you would say who was your favourite character in The Lion King, you'd say Scar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you like a baddie.
I do like a baddie, yeah. I don't know why. I'm just obviously wrong in the head.
Whereas I like Han Solo.
Well, who doesn't like Han Solo?
Well, apparently you prefer Boba Fett and Darth Vader. Actually, to be fair, that's a bad comparison because both of them rock. Anyway,
Exactly.
so you like this film?
I do like it. I like the story. I like the whole idea of the witches. And I love Angelica Houston in this. She's so... she's such a cow, you know. She's so brilliant as the Grand High Witch, and I love kind of her attitude. And she doesn't, you know, it's not like she doesn't even pretend to be nice when she's, you know, in her human form, as it were. She's just, you know, really dismissive of everyone. And I think
Oh yeah,
really
she
great.
sneers at a lot of people.
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
she?
She's just like, oh, I don't need to be nice to you.
Yeah.
And you know, there's even when she's not in her prosthetic, she's got this great kind of and she has it always, Angelica Houston, you know, when you think of her as Morticia. She's just so statuesque, and she's just got this wonderful posture and presence about her, you know.
Very true, yeah.
She really captures your eye. And there's a really brilliant part when I think she's confronted by Luke, the little boy, the main little boy, and she does this kind of convulsing kind of breathing movement.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really effective. And it's like, I would love to know what the kind of, you know, thinking behind her sort of movements in that scene were. But it's really kind of peculiar and captivating.
Well, you can ask her now, because here's today's special. No,
I wish. In our bedroom.
Yes. I admit that she is very, very good in this film, of course. I mean, it's Angelica Houston. But I really, if I'm honest, I can only think of her in The Witches and, like you've already said, Addams Family. I know she was in, like, The Life Aquatic and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I really only see her as The Witches and Morticia.
Yeah, it's those kind of iconic characters where she has such this really... And it's almost similar, you know, obviously not when she's in her prosthetics as the Grand High Witch, but it's a very similar kind of gothic look in both films.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if somebody had turned around to me and said this was directed by Tim Burton, I would have been like, really? I didn't know. But yeah, it's Tim Burton-esque. In fact, a lot of Roald Dahl books... no, that's not fair. A lot of Tim Burton films are Roald Dahl-esque.
Yeah.
So I was about to say it the other way around, but that would be unfair.
That kind of twisted fairy tale sort of style to it. Absolutely, I agree.
I mean, I definitely think that Angelica Houston is a brilliant actress. I think she was really good in it. I wasn't so keen on the German accent.
It was a bit over the top, I suppose.
A little bit, yeah. In fact, I'm going to say this. I thought a lot of this film was over the top.
Well, it is a children's film, and it is a Roald Dahl, you know,
of course,
story.
But I'm not a massive fan of this film.
Okay.
I mean, I
beyond it scaring you when you were
beyond it scaring
little.
me, I was a little bit, I don't know, I was almost a little bit bored watching it.
It isn't, it's not the best story. It is a little bit kind of bland, I suppose, for a film where children get turned into mice.
Yeah, but the effects are brilliant.
The effects are really what you want to watch it for, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of it was Jim Henson.
Yeah, exactly. And you expect great things when it's, got Jim Henson involved. The puppetry of the mice is really good, even though you know, because you have the puppet mice next to real mice, so that was a bad decision because they look